Hi everyone, welcome aboard. This is Amar, chef at Sales for Life, and welcome to another edition of the Social Success Factor. I'm really happy to bring to you today a gentleman by the name of Adam Apter. Adam, how are you?
Great. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for being here. And team, Adam is from a little old company called Thomson Reuters. So Adam is a sales executive. He's a sales pro. He's a new biz guy. He's hungry. He's out there hustling, and he's making a huge splash in the industry. Now, Adam covers the Mid-Atlantic region for the legal division of Thomson Reuters. So, I mean, you can't get more finite than this. Adam is in the streets. He's out there, and he's selling solutions. So, Adam, I really appreciate you being here and sharing your story with us today.
You're welcome.
So let's get started. Adam, this show is all about social selling, right? Using social media in the sales process. Now, you and I have had a few chats back and forth, but I really love the way you frame the importance or the necessity, if you will, of social. So I'm going to turn the floor to you because I'd like the audience to hear from you why you think social is important in the sales process.
Yeah. Um, Social media and social selling is just part of what a modern salesperson has to know. If we were having this conversation 5, 10 years ago, we would be having it about email and how email is important and it's going to change everything and blah, 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 blah. And it's part of the process. Um, a couple decades before that, it was like selling through the phone. And I mean, you go back in time and there are different ways of interacting with potential customers and working with them. Social media is just a new one that works a little differently. So we all have to learn how to integrate it into the fundamentals of sales so that we can work with people.
It's a great answer. So basically, for you, it's not just social selling anymore, it's just sales. That's it.
Yeah, it's just sales. And like I use LinkedIn and reach out to people, or I use it to verify data just like I would use my CRM or email or phone call or showing up and meeting with them in person. It's just part of the process, and it's something that I have to learn and invest in learning.
How successful are you with social media? I'm not sure if we can quantify through a scale, but a typical question I ask people that come on the show, Adam, is what percentage of your pipeline or revenue is derived from the social channel? How would you answer that?
Yeah, it's I've been asked that question before, and it's not something that like I can even quantify. It would be like asking me the question, what percent of sales involves the phone or email or like I don't know, 100%, like a lot. Like I
Yeah.
mean, I may not email with somebody at some point, or we might not talk on the phone, or I might not meet them in person, but it just happens to be that way. It's not like an intention. Um, so it's just like I wouldn't say because social media adoption by my client base isn't 100%. It's not 100% because I just can't interact with somebody who's not online in that way.
Of course.
But it's 100% of my workflow. I'm always checking to see if I can engage with somebody online through social media, and if I can, great. It's part of the process.
That's a great answer. So basically, folks, Adam, and I'm going to speak for you here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying that social is just a part of your daily sales flow. It's just a part of life now. Your clients may not always be on social, but you're always checking there because it's important, and you recognize the importance of using it as a part of your overall sales process. So it's not just the phone, it's not just email, it's not just social, it's everything in a perfect harmony. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, and ultimately, like being like using social selling as a tool is just rapidly becoming a necessary part of being a salesperson today. I mean, we're not at the point where you can't do it without it, or there aren't niches where your customers aren't on social media, but it's getting there and it's going in that direction. Like I said, just like it was that way, I'm sure, with email and with the phone, and I'm not that old of a guy, so um, those transitions happened before I started in sales, but you read about the history and you talk to people. Eventually, people either learn to make it part of their process or they stop selling effectively and they stop winning.
That's actually really deep right there. You use it or you stop selling and stop being effective. Why do you think buyers today are online? Like if you think about 10 years ago, we would pick up the phone and call them. Why are they choosing to talk to us less, at least initially, and go online and use social media platforms? What's your take on that?
People aren't on social media for us. I mean, they're not like signing up for LinkedIn because, oh great, salespeople will connect with me. They're on there to engage and grow their careers and be professionals, engaging with professionals, learning, being in a discourse. That's why they're there. So how I try and use social is to be part of that process and to be a help with them by connecting them to information. I mean, that's what our job is sales. Like, it's not to like trick people into buying stuff. It's to get people the information they need to evaluate purchasing decisions and figure out what they need to have. And so our customers aren't on there like to be sold stuff. They're on there to grow as a professional. So you can be part of that process or not, and you can have a success accordingly.
Yeah, it's a great outlook on it. Thank you. One last question, and I really appreciate all your insights thus far, Adam. What words of advice or motivation would you leave sales pros like yourself who are not super active, or they're random with their stuff on social? They're not really coordinated. They're just using it randomly, sporadically, etc. What words of advice would you leave with them?
That's how you start. I mean, when I look at technologies that I've adopted in the past, that's how it starts. It starts with being haphazard and random and trying stuff and experimenting and seeing what's working and getting trained, getting shown how to do stuff, but you have to make it your own and you have to actually make money with it. So that's how you learn. So just keep doing it because you're going to have to. So you can either do it now when it can give you a competitive advantage, or you can do it when not knowing it becomes a competitive disadvantage. And
Yeah,
we're somewhere in the middle of that.
it's an interesting point you make because I look at it. I look at everything as the 80-20 rule. Maybe it's naive, but I look at social selling now as the people that jump in now will be amongst that elite top 20%, the cream of the crop. And it's good to get in now, right? Because by the time the 80% get in or decide to get in at some point, the top 20%, guys like you're going to be eating the majority of the food on the table, right? Because that's the advantage of having first movers advantage. So I completely agree with your sentiment there. Adam, I really want to appreciate you taking the time to be here, sharing your thoughts, your insights. Continued success to you. I'd like to check in with you regularly. So let's do another one of these 6 to 9 months from now as well. Thanks again,
Sure.
Adam, for being here. And audience, please reach out to Adam. I'm going to leave his contact info below. Wonderful guy, great sales rep. As you heard clearly, social is just a part of his sales flow now, as it should be for you. Hope you got advantage out of this interview. Thanks again. And it's Amar and Adam signing off for Social Success Factor. Take care.
Thanks.